Welcome to the community. Shout out where you're coming from. If you're in the middle, this is going to help you. If you've been with us a long time, this is also going to help you. Maybe there's a few tweaks, a few things that you can do to help you improve your process. And these are meant for you guys to communicate with us. So remember, the quality of your questions are super important. We got some really good people here that all we want to do is help you guys out. So number one, I wanted to tell you guys, this is a foundational thing, pre-treat, right? Pre-treatment is the most important part of the magic of direct-to-garment. Why? Because it creates a nice foundation for a good print, right? So if you don't have good pre-treatment, then it's going to be real difficult for you guys to have really good quality prints. First of all, introductions. I want to introduce Edgar Ambris. He's actually, our senior chemical engineer here, right? So for you guys that don't know, we're one of the only companies that actually creates our own formulas, manufactures our own formulas when it comes to inks, pre-treatments. All the Gamut Plus line is developed here by this guy and this guy right here that you're looking at. So we really know our stuff, right? So chemicals that you use are super important. So that's why Edgar is here. If he gets too technical, and because he is a very smart guy, right? Just make sure that you let us know, hey, you know what? Ask us questions. I also have Seraphine. He is our technical services manager, right? So he's here because he cares about you guys and he wants to keep people printing. And he's running all of the tech support crew here, the ones that are here in the office and the ones that are remote. So remember, the Q&A is important. Put your questions up. We're here to help you guys, right? So that's the biggest intro. And then, something that's super important. Edgar is going to talk about each of the chemicals, what they do, right? Chemicals, especially what we're making, are made to work with each other, right? So number one, if you're using mismatched chemicals, right? Pre-treat from here, inks from there, and all that, it's really difficult to troubleshoot your issue, right? So make sure that you are using all of the proper chemicals and just tell us what you're using. We'll say, hey, you know what? That stuff's good, or it doesn't work. What I can tell you is that we develop resins for the inks and the pre-treatments and the cleaners also for everything to work well together, right? So that's super important for everybody to note. And Ryan's going to have some information on if you guys want to hit him for some deals on some specials for inks and stuff, hit that guy up. Take his money.
Let's go.
All right, Edgar, go ahead, and I'll give it to you guys.
Perfect. Hi, team. My name is Edgar Ambris. I'm a chemical engineer. I have a master's degree in material science and a polymer specialization. I have 20 years of experience working with polymers and 3 years working here in Omniprint. I am in charge of the development of the inks, pretreatment, and any chemicals that you are using. If you have any question, please let me know. I would like to explain you a little bit about our products. We are working with suppliers from USA, Germany, and Japan. We are using the best ingredients for our formulas. We have some certifications for the inks. So this is to make sure that you are using the best product in this area. First of all, I would like to explain you a little bit about the inks. We have several awards in the inks. We made the inks with the best pigments. As you know, when you are printing our inks, the color is very vibrant. So when you cure our inks, the color is the same. We are measuring the color for every ink that we make here to ensure that you always get the same quality always. So what is the difference between my ink and the other inks is the quality in the print. We are using pigment with high quality. Everything is made here in USA. Every batch is the same. So when you have some concern about the batch of the inks, I can tell you that the ink is right. We have a huge process to release our ink. We measure viscosity, surface tension, percentage of solid, and to release the ink, we print the batch 50 times in the free jet. So this is to ensure that you will get the best ink. So how we made the inks? Okay, here's the thing.
Same thing with the pretreatment.
And the same thing with the pretreatments. Okay, and how we made the inks. I know that this is a good question. We use humectants in the inks. We use pigment, water, and we are not using any solvent. The difference between our inks and the other inks is that we are not using solvents. You can read in the label that some inks from another brand are using water-based products, but the truth is that you can smell a little weird the solvent over there. So if you need any certification from us about the quality of our inks, you know, the CPSIA type-proof inks. Even we meet with the Proposition 65. This is very hard to meet. We already made the test and we passed the test. I would like to send you and show you maybe later the certification of these inks, just to let you know that you are using a good ink. And we got those certifications for the pretreatment too, so you can ensure that you are using a good pretreatment. To get that good quality in your print, the truth is that you need to use our products, because when I release the product, I'm making a balance between the ink and the pretreatment. The reason, because you sometimes get a bad quality in your shirt, is because or you are using a different inks or you are using a different pretreatment. And that is the reason, because you have sometimes a lot of issue with that. We have a spreadsheet with all the amounts of pretreatment and the environment that you need to use to print a good shirt. So try to use the best products, you know, even for your health. Because if you can smell in a pretreatment that smell like paint, that means that that pretreatment is using binders. You use those binders for paints. So if you can smell that, that is bad for you healthy. And here in Omniprint, we ensure that you are getting a good product, because even I'm working every day with the inks and pretreatment, and I have 3 years working here, and I don't have any issue with my lungs and anything. So you can ensure that you're using a good ink. It's not just the quality, is the healthy too. Of, you know, you have child in your room, you have your family there too, and the truth is that I don't want to sell you a bad stuff. You know, you need to take care about your healthy, and you need to follow our recommendations. You know that our products is a good product. And if you have any question concerning about the inks and pretreatment, please let me know. I would like to explain you more about polymers, but I know that this is something hard to understand.
That's too much.
Yeah, that's too much. But what about the washability of our inks? I can share you 30 to 50 washes using our products. And why I can tell you this, because I'm making tests every day. I'm washing every day, more than in my house. You know, my wife is she's very good in that. And I'm good in this too, because I'm washing shirts every day. So if you need a sample, maybe from us to know that we are telling you the truth, please let me know. I can send you a picture if you need. I have all the records in my lab. Even we don't have too much space, because Victor always telling me, no, you need to release some stuff here. And about the pretreatment, we are using 4 different pretreatments. Every pretreatment is for every fabric that you are using. Sometimes the people get confused because they use black cotton for white shirt. If you do that, the behavior is not going to be good. You will have a bad washability. That is the issue, because sometimes you get some bad washability. You need to use the white pretreatment. Seraphine is going to explain you everything about the amounts of the pretreatment. Okay. Polyester too, you need to use dark poly for dark polyester. don't mix stuff. I know that sometimes you don't have enough pretreatment, and sometimes you mix the pretreatment, and you will see that in a couple of days the customer is going to return with you with a bad shirt. So everything that we are making here, everything have a sense. Is correct? Say that?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you want to explain something?
Sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So-
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Edgar. Thank you so much. So first, my name is Serafin Aguirre. I've been with Omniprint now for 2 years. Going on 2 years next month, actually. And my job here is a tech service manager, so it's to make sure that you get the best customer service experience, along with Ryan and all of our techs here at Omniprint, our sales agents, and any support that you need from our training department. I'm in charge of the tech support and making sure that they're trained and getting them their knowledge base up to par and up to speed. And so what I want to discuss a little bit is the pretreatment appliance. So applying the pretreatment on your garment. It's great that Edgar mentioned the inks and how they mesh together well with our pretreatment. If the pretreatment that you're using isn't ours and you use a different type of ink, as he mentioned, we can end up having an issue. So we want to make sure that we're using the best quality, and that is the pretreatment that applies to your either dark shirt or light shirt or your blends. So I'll be getting into more of that, right? One of the things is the spray gun, right? A lot of you guys get the spray gun comes with the machine, right? So you want to make sure that your spray gun has a nice even spray. And when I mean even spray, you're going to want to see it and it kind of mists, right? And you see it as it opens and it fans out. If you're seeing any type of misses, so imagine my 4 fingers being the spray, right? If you have something missing like so, it's not going to apply the pretreatment correctly. We teach you a certain way of laying down the pretreatment, which is called the hashtag, right? So you start from right to left or left to right. You get the top of the garment, you come down, and then you get the bottom of the garment. You turn your spray gun sideways and move it out a little bit. And then you spray up, move it to the other section, spray down. So this is the hashtag. There are multiple ways of pre-treating out there. It's just one of the ways that you can pre-treat. Obviously, the spray gun works great and it leaves great results. You got to master it, right? It's a learning curve when it comes to the spray gun. Applying it to the garment and making sure that you have enough of it. As you all know, there is a chart of the amount of pretreatment that you should put on a light garment, on a dark garment, on a black garment, to ensure that you have a full spray. Also, same thing with our pretreater, right? A pretreater, same thing. You want to make sure that you have your nozzle completely open, and it needs to lay down that nice even spray. The difference between the two is one, you get to push a button, hit start, it sprays and lays down your pretreatment. The other one, you have to manually watch it spray, right? So your spray gun needs to manually apply your pretreatment. And I've seen it where multiple times it takes customers anywhere between 2 to 3 months to figure out how to use the pretreatment gun, and it's just spraying and practicing. One of the best ways of doing it is making sure that you have a light garment first so that you can see the actual spray. So like a heather gray garment, so that you can see that you got this top area moving down, got the bottom area, turned it sideways, and now that you got the entire garment. This way you can see whether or not part of the nozzle is missing and if it's not applying correctly on your garment. And then taking the spray gun tip out and making sure that we rinse it out with distilled water, or making sure that you spray and get that tubing out. Because one of the things that can happen when you don't clean out your spray gun is that, as kind of what Edgar was mentioning, is that you'll start to combine pretreatments, right? So if you go from a light to a dark and you have some light cotton pretreatment, let's just say in your spray gun, and you apply your dark cotton pretreatment and you start going right away and spraying your dark cottons, you're going to see that speckle, right? That spray and that mixture, that chemical imbalance, right? And when you go to print, you're going to see some areas that look good, some areas that look faded, some areas that don't look great, right? So you have to make sure that you upkeep on your spray gun. I am going to demonstrate how our direct treater works. If you do need additional assistance with the spray gun, please reach out to me. Put it on the comments. I'd be more than happy to assist you and spend some time with you guys and going over the spray gun. It's just that we can't spray it in here, a bunch of nice equipment, and it does miss a little bit. So we want to make sure that we keep that. Right? Let's just spray it everywhere and leave it all sticky. Right? So it's very, the direct treater makes your life so much easier. Right? It just has the on-off switch in the back. So I'm going to rotate it here. And you just want to flip it open. You see those nice, beautiful LED lights at the bottom, and you know that your machine is up and running. One of the great things about your direct treater is that it has easy access for maintenance and to get in there. So you have your access to your nozzle tip and your pump and your hoses all in this area here. So it makes it a lot easier when you can pop it open, right? And this is its startup. It's just finding its home and making sure that it's in the right position. Up in the front, you'll see, right, for those of you that haven't seen it, it has a nice LED screen, and it chooses the amount of pretreatment that you want to put by the drop here. So by selecting the drop, you're telling it how much you're going to apply on the pass. You can see that it has the arrow pointing up. That means that it's only going to pass one time over the top at this amount. This area here is the actual area that you're going to pre-treat on the shirt. So you can see the blues, right? So it would be from the top collar down about halfway up the shirt that it's going to spray. Like I mentioned, right, you got to clean them out and make sure that if you switch from one side to the other, that you are removing that, or switching it out, I should say. When you start off in the back, you'll have a waste bottle. You'll have your distilled and then your two different pre-treatments. Always make sure that you tag them, whether it's dark or whether it's light, whether it's dark poly or dark cotton, dark poly or light poly, to ensure that you don't mix them. And if you need to switch them out, clean them out, it's very easy to clean out the bottles. You just take the filter out that's sitting here, take the bottle out, make sure you grab something else so that it doesn't leak all over the place, take them out, rinse them out with warm water, and you'll be good to go. What you want to do is you want to always start off by opening the cleaner side of it so that way it cleans out the hoses on your pre-treatment to ensure that way anything that was left over from the night before, even though we should be doing this every single night, that it is removed, right? So these also, the great thing about the pre-treater is that it allows you to remove the side windows here so that you can see the actual spray being applied on your garment. On top of that, it also has the drawer that lets you slide out to the side. You can lay down 6 garments at once. Right now we have 2 here, but you can apply a couple more so that you can spray, take out, so on and so forth. And then it also has, right, the drawer, right, so that it ensures that you can pull it out either side. So what you want to look at when you're pre-treating with a pre-treater is to make sure that you're getting a nice even spray at the bottom, right, when you're looking at your nozzle tip. So it's going to be kind of difficult to get the camera in here, but we will be able to see it once I lay down the spray. So what you want to do first is you want to start off by purging it. As you notice, the back, you just switch out the knob of which one you want open. You're going to hit purge. And it tells you, are you sure you want to purge this? Yes, we do. It's going to tell you which way you want the valve to be sitting. So it takes you step by step on how to get your pre-treatment or your cleaning out. You hit the start button and it's going to start laying down the distilled water. Now we're going to switch the valve to open it. And now it's going to spray down again and start to grab the distilled water. If it didn't grab it, you just hit the cleaner. Do it one more time, And in between the actual clean, you can close the valve, which then allows it to start shooting straight down, right? And once you see that you got a nice even spray, you can hit done, stop it. That means that you cleaned out any of the pre-treatment that you had from the night before in your tubing. Now, what you want to do is you want to turn the, or actually go behind your pre-treater, close your cleaner, and open up your pre-treater, right? So once you open up the pre-treatment valve, you want to do the same thing we just did. We're going to purge it, and we're going to make sure that it flushes out your distilled water. This way you can make sure that you apply, and it has the right amount of pre-treatment on the bottles. Once you do it once, you switch it again, as I mentioned, and then hit start again. And you'll start to see your hoses get nice and milky, right? The moment that you see them, that they get nice and white, then you know that you're ready to go. If you need to run another purge, you just hit a okay, hit start. Don't take very long. It just runs it straight into your nozzle, and now you're ready to spray. So I'm going to go over the dark garments, since those are the ones that I know that customers have the most struggle with. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you guys know that when it comes to light garments or white cotton or light cotton, they don't need very much pre-treatment, but you need to make sure that it is even, right? One of the things too is the quality of your shirt, right? When you're applying your pre-treatment, you want to make sure that you have, we always recommend, or we always, we enforce that you use ring spun shirts. There are some images that give us this look. Mauricio, if you don't mind pulling up those images so we can show them. So this here talks about too much pre-treatment, or the way pre-treatment should look, right? If you see on the left, the image there shows us the proper amount of pre-treatment. So it shows you that the pre-treatment of the shirt is being applied, and it grabs just enough of the garment so that the white layer of ink is applied, and then the color applies over the white. If you see on the right picture, too much pre-treatment lays down too thick of a layer, so it never touches your shirt. And when you put too much pre-treatment, when you go to wash it, then it ends up coming straight out because it never grabs onto your garment. And that always has to do with the type of garments, right? Mauricio, there was 3 other pictures that I sent you. If you don't mind pulling those up for me, I just want to show you. There's a couple garments that have we had Edgar. He zoomed in on them so that you can kind of see the difference between some of these garments, the non-ring spun ones and the ring spun. First one on the far left is a non-ring spun shirt, and you can see all the lifted. This is not pre-treated. It has those fuzzy hairs, right? So they're just kind of all over the place. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen those. The one on the far right is the non-pre-treated ring spun. Still has a little bit of fibers, nothing as bad, right, as the one on the far left. That is not a ring spun shirt. And then the one in the middle with actual pre-treatment, right? It's the ring spun shirt with pre-treatment. And this is our pre-treatment as it applies it, as you apply it, right? And it presses down, it brings down all the fibers. It allows you to be able to get that good bond between your white ink and your CMYK that comes and follows. So it's very important to make sure that you have quality shirts and quality pre-treatment. Which is what we have here at Omniprint. We've used this pre-treatment now for years, and we have continued to make it better. Edgar and Victor are always working in the lab, making sure that they can always make it better, always working on different ways to apply it or to make it easier. So, right, the easiest way to apply it is with your pre-treater. So I'm going to show you how to apply, how it should look, right? As you're going to apply your pre-treatment, the way it should look when your nozzle is coming down across your shirt. And you'll be able to see it because of the light, it lights up, right? So for this shirt, we're going to have it pass twice and we're going to put it at a level of 3. So what this is going to do is it's going to lay down the pre-treatment as it goes and as it comes back, right? So I'm going to go ahead and all we're going to do is just, as you can see here, we've adjusted. All you got to do is make sure that you select the area and that you select the passes. So as I mentioned before, right, this is the amount of pre-treatment that you want to apply. This is how many times it's going to pass through and lay down pre-treatment. This is the area you're going to cover. And then you just hit the little check mark and then it shows you the pre-treatment here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and hit the start. Actually, I'm sorry, we're going to change it to 1. So what you're going to see, actually, we're going to change it to 1. It's going to come towards the front and then come right back and lay down your spray. So.
Did you say to pre-treat at level 3 in a bi-directional pass?
So what you want to do on, depending on the garment, you want to be able to pre-treat. So on this one, what we did is we did on a 1-directional pass on a 3.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So on a unidirectional, so not bi-directional, sorry. So on a unidirectional, so it just came once on a 3. Or we can also do the 2 on a 2, right? So on the 2, on the bypass, so where it goes once and then comes back again on level 2 as well. It's the amount of pre-treatment that's being laid down, right? So you can make your adjustments. And then once you take out your shirt here and you slide it out, you'll see a nice even coat, no area that isn't pre-treated. If I were to lift this up and it had too much pre-treatment, you'll start to see it run down, right? You'll start to see this area kind of start to run down your garment. But as you can see, it has a nice even coat. The reason why I'm turning it sideways is so that you guys can see it in the light a little better. But it's just an even coat of spray, right? And this right here, as you go to your heat press and you lay it down to go press it, is going to give you that great print once you're done with it, right? And a black shirt, you want to grab a silicone sheet, press it at a temperature of 320 degrees, 20 seconds 3 times, right? You want to grab your silicone sheet, press it, wait your 20 seconds, turn the sheet, and then your last one, you want to rotate it. You can use the same sheet for the same one shirt, right? Once you're done with that silicone sheet, after that one press, you want to make sure you get rid of it, because that's another thing that customers also ask me a lot is, can I reuse those silicone sheets when I'm applying pre-treatment? And you can't. When you use it and you have pre-treatment on that silicone sheet, if you press it again with pre-treatment, even if it's the same pre-treatment, those sheets have crystals and it can crystallize your image. Some of them do look kind of cool, but you don't want to do that with your shirt. So I'm going to lay down another one, which was the bi-directional, right? The one that Ryan had asked me about originally, and we're going to bring it down to a 2. And then I think after this, we'll ask some QA, right? We'll have some QA right after this. Yeah. So same thing. This time we're going to do it twice. So you're going to see the nozzle spray and then come back and lay down the rest of it. But the amount is a little less. So we'll slide this out. And you'll see the pre-treatment laying down a nice even coat, right? So that this way, when you press it down on your heat press, again, you have a nice even spray. If any of the nozzles of your pre-treater were clogged or not open, you'd see areas on your shirt that were cut up where it didn't lay down a nice even spray. So you want to make sure that you're always taking care of that nozzle tip, right? So I'm going to lay this one down over here. Well,
All right. Thank you, Seraphin. Sure. So guys, I wanted to come in here real quick. So I always like to have people that are, that are winning, and to help you guys. We have thousands of customers out here that are just, a lot of them are our pros. And actually, I have a special guest here today, Angel from Angel Boy. He's a example of somebody that's doing a lot of printing, but a lot of quality, but he focuses a lot on the foundational elements, which I'm telling you guys, have a good solid shirt, you know. So I say, hey Angel, since you're here, stop by and give people some tips, maybe your you know, top 3 tips of what you do in your shop. So come on, Angel. Thank you for being here, brother.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing great out there. So I know you mentioned just like a couple, you know, tips and tricks. As far as, you know, just right off the back, I know Seraphine, he mentioned like a lot of good ones, tips and tricks. But what my main things that, you know, most important is I always want to have a good garment. I know they touched on that. So it's very, very important that you have a good garment. You can see the difference when you have thicker shirt, when it's not 100% ring spun, all that good stuff. So definitely the garment is, if not, you know, besides the pre-treatment, it's actually one of the most important parts is the actual garment itself. Another thing that I would mention too is they also mentioned is the parchment paper. I did start using those multiple times, and you can see the crystallization, you can see the wrinkles from the heat, and you know the moisture that gets from the shirt. So definitely I would suggest using a new parchment paper every time. Another thing too is the amount of pre-treatment. I do like to make sure that I have a nice amount, but you don't want to have too much as well, just because when you do go to press the garment, you know, you're going to see that crystallization, and it just, you want to avoid that as much as possible so you don't have your nice big crystallization square, you know, from the pre-treatment. Another thing too, and they mentioned that, is the nozzle. So you always want to make sure you have a nice good nozzle on there, because I know when you guys take it out and you put it in the super cleaner, which I do as well, you want to make sure you know, if you get a little toothbrush or something, a little you know, scrubber, you want to clean it a little bit, and then you want to place it in there, because a lot of times you'll just put it in the super cleaner, you throw it back on there, and you go to pre-treat and it's not giving you that even spray. It's because you want to make sure that nozzle is also you know, spraying correctly. But other than that, that's just a couple, you know, tips and tricks. You know, this one, if you guys could see this shirt, this was sprayed with the dual treater, and you know, it looks pretty good. So you know, those are just a couple little tips and tricks that we use here.
That's awesome. Thank you, Angel. Angel prints a lot, and you know, he's known for his quality. So that's why I say, you know what, come by and help people out here. So let's get some Q&A. So guys, come on in over here so you can get some Q&As. Let's see, we can see them right here. All right, maybe this one's for you, Angel. What are the best brands, cotton and polyester, people are printing on?
I mean, for the poly, I like the Hanes. For the cotton, this is my go-to. It's the AS Color or the Cotton Heritage.
All right.
Cotton Heritage 1082, 1086. Those are my go-tos.
Nice. All right. Do you want to bring people in live, Ryan, or
Love that.
yeah, let's go.
I would love that. If you guys are going to come in live, play nice. Good questions. The quality of your question is going to determine the quality of our answer. So, but yes, let's definitely bring some people in live. Suzanne, you're on mute, but let's, I see you raised your hand if you're there.
I'm just wondering why when I spray a shirt and then when I put it under the heat for red or safety yellow, it leaves a square, a dark square. I don't know what causes it.
That's fine.
For red.
Hello, I would like to answer your question. That is a good question, because I know that some customer had issue with the red shirt. Okay, first, the red shirt itself has a red pigment who has a thermal degradation around 300. So obviously every fabric is different. My recommendation for those specific shirts is to use 300 Fahrenheit to cure the pretreatment. And the amount for colors you can use for that color, specific color, my recommendation is to use one of level in the dual pretreatment twice. Is biodirectional.
Right, by the
And with that settings, you are not going to have any issues. Obviously, the pigment turn a little dark, but after a couple hours, return as usual. So don't scare when you see the square mark in color shirt, because that is because the temperature. So it's become normal.
Yeah. So yeah, the also the quality of those red shirts are important. As a matter of fact, guys, just so you know, I actually have Edgar test any new ink or any new product on reds or grays. So the hardest stuff is what we use to test on, right? So just make sure that if you're buying super cheap stuff that has bad dye, you're gonna have problems. If you use too much pre-treat, you're gonna have problems, or just some of those don't play good with heat either, right? So you could put zero printing on it, zero pre-treat, and they're still gonna stain just with heat, right? So just take a look at those things, lower the temp, use a little bit less pre-treat, and you should be good. All right, thank you, Suzanne. All right, who's next? So let's keep it rolling. So I know we've been on here a while, but I want to make sure that you guys get all the help that you need. So let's go.
I'm going to bring in Foreign Apparel. Foreign Apparel, you're on mute. If you want to unmute yourself, you should be good.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Good. And if we could see you, it would be better. So everybody turn on your mics or not your mics, but your cameras. Just be camera friendly, and we'll help you guys out. Where are you at? What's your name, Foreign Apparel?
My name's Marley, like Bob.
Hey, like Marley. We call you some Bob Marley right now. All right. What's your question?
As far as printing on leggings, tights, what some people call them, what is the best method as far as setting it up on the plat?
That's a good question. Have you ever done those?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
I know they're a high item for females.
Yep.
Yeah, how you doing? So pretty much when it comes to laying down on the dual treater, you want to bring out the table as much as you can, and as far as positioning it, obviously you want to be able to lay it as flat as possible to the actual part that you're going to get. And then the excess, you want to go ahead and make sure you're going to spray the whole part of like the bottom, whatever it is. But what you can do is, just so you don't have the excess and it goes off to the rest of the pants, you can lay down like a little piece of cloth or anything to cover the excess of what you don't want to hit. So obviously if you're wanting to hit just the left side of the pants, you can fold the rest over, or you can place a little thin cloth on there, so that way it's just pre-treating the designated area.
Okay.
Use the sleeve platen.
Yeah, sleeve platen. Depending on what it is, if it is, if it's, you're doing like a little left, logo right here, I'll use the chest platen. It just depends on what you're doing. If the spell out is long, then yeah, you want to use the sleeve platen. And once again, it just depends on the image that you're printing.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And
No problem.
is there any way I can get Angel's I guess Instagram information or whatever?
That's easy. At Angel Boy.
Yeah.
And make sure you.
2 Y's at the end.
That's right. 2 Y's. And
Gotcha.
also make sure you're following us at Omniprint International. We'll give you the
Plug it in.
you got give you the plug, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Who's next?
All right, let's go to I think it's Majida. Majida. Correct me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but Majida, you're live.
Hi. Yeah, it's Majida.
Majida, excuse me.
with the like when you're with pre-treating the shirts, I know you say like to throw away the silicone sheet after like using it once, but what I've noticed with the silicone sheets is like it wrinkles after just pressing it one time. So I've honestly gave up on using the silicone sheets altogether, and I just use the curing sheets, like those brown kind of craft ones you guys sell. I've got those and I've had better luck with those, but like what I'm wondering is why you guys don't like, because you guys have those covers on your heat presses, and do those make it so you don't need a sheet at all, like to use a sheet at all, or like I'm wondering why.
That's a good question, Majida. So those covers are primarily to protect your heat press, honestly. So the you know it's an expensive heat element, right? So if you start getting it stained up, you're gonna have problems, right? You're gonna start staining every shirt that comes out of it. So that's why these covers are important. That's why we recommend them, and you just clean them off. If you use them to press the ink, you're gonna get like a super shiny sheen on it, on the whole shirt, right? So yeah, it could be done for like vinyl transfers and stuff like that, but it gets shiny, right? Some customers like shiny, but that's one of the main reasons. So you might, if you're getting good results with using the craft sheets, you can use those. They're a little bit tougher. You know, the silicone just gives you that smoother feel. I mean, that's why a lot of people like using them. But yeah, then you gotta get rid of it after you press it the first time, right? So there's always a little give and take when you want like a smoother print.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you want to add a little bit on that?
Let me add a little bit to that. I know you were talking about it wrinkling. I'm sorry, Majida?
Yeah.
Majida. Hey, by the way, I cut her, but she can still hear this.
Okay, good.
Cut her off for that.
So if you see it wrinkle, I'm guessing you're talking about the edges, right? So then you got to try and do it real fast, right? Where you got to put it on top of the heat press and then go as quickly as possible. I think that's what you were talking about. You can bend the corners of it and place it down again so that way it's not wrinkling in or smoothing in. So if you bend the corners down, it'll allow you to place it over your garment and it won't move. So if that was what you were asking about with the craft sheets kind of rolling into itself or cracking, you grab those corners and bend them in.
Cool. All
Awesome.
right.
All right. Next up, we're gonna call in Goldie. Goldie, you are live. Just take yourself off mute. No, Goldie is not here. Okay, we will raise your hand again if you want to come back in. That's it for the hands raised. Again, guys, if you want to ask a question, okay, we got Jeremy. Jeremy, you're coming in here. Jeremy, you're live. What's up, man?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Okay, I can hear you. So on several different designs that I've tried to print a gray design, either it has shades of pink in it or even shades of purple. I did speak with someone about layering more white to get like a more rich white, but my gray still isn't just mixing black and white, it's mixing other colors. So
Gotcha. You want to take it?
So that sounds like it's maybe something with the design. So what you'd want to look at first, right, is to make sure that when you're laying down your pre-treatment, that maybe you can press your fibers down before applying the pre-treatment. So if you lay it underneath the heat press before applying any type of pre-treatment, you grab a sheet and press it down for about 10-15 seconds. That'll help bring those fibers down. And then also make sure that it's completely dry to the touch, right? If it's a little moist, it may look like the colors start to blend with each other because of the fact that it's not dry enough. If it is dry and you're doing everything correctly and you're still getting that print, we probably want to look at your design and see if maybe there's anything missing. We also have some Pantones that we can offer you to look at to make sure that you're hitting the right color. And then we can take a look at that using different environments as well. So if you have a dark shirt, right, using the dark shirt. If you have a black shirt, using black shirt. And then you can also use, somebody just put a photo environment, right? You can also use a photo environment. Good job, whoever just sent that, David. So yeah, that's one of the ways that you can look to make sure that your garment is completely pre-treated and that it's well dried, pressing those fibers down.
Yeah, if the gray image has stuff other than gray, we have a photo environment you can use where we kill all the other colors, and it helps you print a little easier. So try that.
Good stuff. All right, thank you, Jeremy. Hope that helped. Vic, let's go ahead and take one more here, and then we'll go ahead and patch out. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So Woody, we're gonna go ahead and bring you in. Woody, just unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, I was wondering how long between if you're running an 8-hour day or 10 or 12 or 24-hour day, how long will your nozzle run that whole time without needing a cleaning in between, or typically how many shirts do you get in?
Yeah, on the pre-treater, there's really no, it doesn't need to get a cleaning. Is that what you're talking about, the pre-treater or a printer?
Yeah, the pre-treater to keep it from clogging. Will it run 24 hours a day?
Yeah, it could run. You know, those nozzles are industrial nozzles, so they can run. Where people have problems is when they actually don't clean them after they're done and they let them sit there, because there are resins and adhesives in the pre-treat, right? So you don't want that to dry in the nozzle. So it could just run throughout all your shifts.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Awesome. All right. Actually, Goldie's been trying to get in here. Let's go ahead and have Goldie come in here for a second. Goldie, you're live.
Yeah, hi. I was wondering about that purging. How often do you purge? When do you purge?
Okay, so on the pre-treater, you purge when you're cleaning the lines out at the end of the day, right? Or if you're loading up a different pre-treatment after you're starting up for the day, right? So that's what it is. It's just to load up or pretty much unload.
So just when you're loading up, you would turn on the purge. You would let it purge when you're putting in the new stuff. Also the cleaning when you clean in the beginning of the day. Yes,
because you're replacing whatever's inside that line. You're replacing it.
So you purge first, then you run the cleaning, then you purge again, and you run whatever line you're running until you see it coming up, and then you stop the purge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, you could see the line. So if you want to save on some of the liquids, you could see when the line's emptied out, and then when to switch. Also, if you make sure that a lot of this stuff, guys, is on the Academy. So we did pre-record sessions for you guys. That you could go on there and train yourself 24/7, or train people that come in and help you. I always tell people, like, if you're getting somebody to come in and help you out, make sure you throw them on the Academy, get them certified so they don't mess up your equipment, right? That's super important. And if you don't have an access, hit up Ryan. If you need some cleaners, take Ryan's money and get a discount from him. Please do. And what else you got, Ryan?
Yeah. So real quick on the Academy part, if you don't have access to the Omni Academy and you bought your printer through a third party, which I know some of you have, just email support and we'll get you taken care of. We do have programs to get you guys recertified and get you into the Academy and get you taken care of. So again, email support and we'll get you taken care of. Cool. All right. So we do have some deals going on right now. And I've been kind of teasing towards it and sending people direct messages here on Zoom with those deals. But if you are a customer here and you are using any of our ink products or pre-treater products or cleaner products, we are giving 10% off all orders over $250 right now, which doesn't happen very often. And so our store URL, if you don't know, is store.omniprintonline.com. And
you could paste it on the chat.
Yeah, I'll follow up with it. I'll post there again and use code DTG10. And that will get you 10% off of your ink orders, your pre-treatment, and your cleaning supplies. off of orders over $250 or more, which you guys know, we don't do these deals very often. You know what I mean? But we love you guys and we want to give you some love here today. So do that. But we also have one other one too, which is actually a big deal. And I meant to post a poll here on Zoom, but we weren't able to do it, and we'll figure it out next time. But for those of you who are using a manual spraying application for your pre-treatment and are interested in moving over to the dual treater, for all of our existing customers here, we are going to be offering 10% off of this product here for the next couple of days. Like, we're not going to be dragging this out, right? Because we don't, again, our products are world-class, and they level up operations, right? But we do want to extend that love to our customers here today. So if you want 10% off or are interested in maybe getting a direct treater dual, we are going to give you 10% off here today. And actually, I'm not going to give that code out on this video. So if you want it, message me.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want it, message me and I'll hook you up with the code and I'll make sure that you're taken care of.
And where can people get a hold of you, Ryan?
Yes, you can email me at ryan@Omniprint Online, or you can find me in the Facebook owners group as well. I'm in there every single day. And if you're not in that group, well, you're missing out. You need to get in that group. But one of those two methods, or you can just hit me up on Instagram. It's at RYRWood, RYRWood. Really easy.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. So one thing that you guys could help me with is make sure that if you're not subscribed in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Omniprint International. We have a lot of stuff that's going on there to help you guys. So subscribe, hit the bell there. Let us know, give us some feedback on the chat, from 1 to 10. If it's good, we're going to keep doing these to help you guys out. Let us know if you need something else, if you need other stuff. Just like Ryan was saying, this is super important for us. We have thousands and thousands of people out there like you guys. I'm doing sessions with people and our creators one-on-one. We're posting them up so that you guys can see how we can level up to grow, right? I want you guys to level up. I want you guys to make money. Everybody here is super smart and super caring, and we want to see you guys win, right? So that's why we're doing these for you guys completely for free. I'm the only one that knows what I got to pay the scientists and everybody to be here, right? So I'm doing that for you guys. So throw some love if you like it. If you hate it, it's probably Ryan's fault. So just
Wow.
But again, thank you guys so much for the technical difficulties. We went past the time, and next time we'll have it nice and tight. So thank you, Angel, for coming by too. Thank you guys. All right, guys, we're signing out. Thank you guys for everything.
See you guys.